Hey everybody, how's it going? It's No Music here today with a plugin review. Today we're going to be going over XO by XLN Audio. What is XO? XO is everything. XO is also art. I mean, just look at all those beautiful colors. It's a sequencer, a sound selector, a sample editor, and your new favorite plugin. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, so the first thing I'm going to start by going over is where you can actually get XO. So XO is a plugin that's made by the company XLN Audio. If you go over to their site here at xlnaudio.com, this is where you can find it over at the XO page. You have a few different options available to you when considering purchasing XO. So the first and foremost is you can try for free. Here, this gives you the 10-day free trial of XO, and it provides you with full functionality. All the perks of the full version during the trial period will be available to you for those 10 days. If you scroll down further on this page, you are going to have two other options for purchasing XO that are available to you. So the first option is if you purchase XO Lite. This gives you the basic features and functionality of XO for about $120. Keep in mind this is the American currency. And the second option is the full version of XO for $180. This is the version that I currently have. I did try the 10-day free trial first. I fell in love with it, and I decided to purchase a full version because it gives you access to so many more features than the light version over here. For the full version, you get 8,000 samples versus the 2,000 in XO Lite. You get twice as many beat presets, and you get 6 supported file formats, which is going to come in handy when you're using your own sample libraries. You also have advanced export features, which at a later time I'm going to show you why this comes in handy. And you have 8 additional buses for multiple outputs. And if you click here and here, you do get to see more features that are available to you. You also have the option of upgrading from XO Lite to XO for $70 American. Now, if you scroll down past this page, you're going to find a comparison chart, and this is going to go over all the differences between XO Lite and XO, the main one being the exporting features and also miscellaneous features. Once you've decided which of these is optimal for you, we're going to dive into the plugin itself. Let's go. As you can see here, it's a very colorful plugin. Each of these colors actually represents a different sound that you have available to you. And one thing I really love about XO is that there's always going to be a helper at the bottom here that's going to tell you what the function of everything does as you're hovering over it. So notice that as I hover over different things here, that helper is going to change, right? It's going to tell me what each of these things do. There's zoom in and zoom out controls on the bottom here. So you can click this to zoom in. You can click this one to zoom out. And if at any time, let's say you want to reset the position of the interface, you're going to click this and it's going to bring you right back to where you started. Notice also that you can zoom out using your mouse controls and zoom in as well. So I can zoom in here and zoom out. As you zoom in, also notice that you have more and more circles available to you. So that's great because here it just shows a small portion of what you have, but if you zoom in, you're going to see so much more. Now I'm going to reset here to where I started. Notice that when you click any of these circles, it's going to play a sound. So pretty cool, right? And now zooming into any one specific area here, let's say I want to zoom in here. So these are actually going to be all my kicks. If I click one of these sounds, one of these kicks, every circle near it is actually going to be a similar sound to the one I just clicked. So that's how it groups them. So it groups them by similarity. This section here is going to be more similar compared to this section here, but these are all going to be kicks. They're just different sounding kicks. So zooming in back here, I'm going to play this. All right, notice how those are all kicks and they sound just a little bit different, but they are quite similar to one another. Compared to these kicks over here, let's say I want to zoom in here. Those are going to be a lot different from the previous kicks we just selected. Zooming back out, notice that whenever we click a sound, so here, it's going to present us with this on the bottom below. So this is actually going to show you sounds that are similar to the ones that you just selected without having to go zoom in and click every circle around it. So for example, this is our sound. All right. So this makes things very easy. You even have the option to favorite any specific sound and add it into your favorites. One thing I really love as well is if you click this folder here, it's actually going to show you where that sound is located in your hard drive. So it's going to show you the actual file of that sound. Note though that this only works for user sounds. It doesn't work for the factory sounds of XO, but it does work for any other sample libraries that you choose to upload for use in XO, and we're going to be going over that in a little bit as well. Okay, next thing I'm going to be talking about is actually this section over here. So this is your kit section. What this allows you to do is it allows you to create a fully functional drum kit by uploading any of these sounds you see here in the map into these slots. So if I want to upload a kick sound, I'm going to click any one of my kicks here. I like that. I'm going to click this arrow and it's going to move it into this slot. Now I have this kick available to me at any time. Notice also when I have that slot selected, it gives me the option to kind of manipulate the sequence and the sound itself. But we're going to be going over that in a little bit, but right now I just want to show you this. So now let's say I want to upload a snare. I'm going to click any one of those and the arrow again, and it's going to put that in my snare slot. And now I have a kick and a snare in my kit. Remember, you can upload 8 different sounds here. So you got 2 kicks, a snare, a clap, a closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, and 2 flexes. These flexes are essentially just sounds that add a little bit of variation into your beat. You can filter what sounds you want to use in the sidebar over here. So you're going to click the search bar, and you can filter it from your kicks. Let's say I only want to choose something from the kick section here. I can choose any one of these kicks simply by clicking this kick function, and it selects those. If I want to go, let's say, snares now, and I want to not look for kicks, I can click that. I'm going to reset this folder here. Okay. And I want to go for my claps now. So all my claps are going to be there. Let's say I don't want claps. Let's say I want cymbals. It's going to highlight all my cymbals. If I don't want cymbals, let's say open hi-hats, all my open hi-hats are going to be here. Same thing, you got your closed hi-hats, you got your toms, you got your perks, and you got your effects. You can also filter it by your favorites. Remember how I said before, you can choose your favorites from the bar down here for specific sounds. You're going to have all those available to you if you do have any favorites. I actually don't have any favorites, despite how long I've been using this, because I just like all these sounds so much. I should get on that though, I really should. Also notice that this whole thing here actually looks like a really big brain, and you're gonna be able to filter different parts of that brain you want to select using this search and filter bar. You can also search them by name, and you can filter them by their frequency. Let's say you want something with a low frequency. I can bring this bar down here. So it's going to give me more bassy sounds, something like kicks. All right. Resetting that. Let's say I want to have something that's a little more plucky versus something that's more sustained. So all my plucky sounds are going to be here, and all my more sustained sounds are going to be here. It's going to show you the duration seconds of those sounds. So here we're getting into the 2.6 second range, all the way up until 4s, and I guess it maxes out at 9 seconds. Those are quite long for sounds. And also the drumminess. So what sounds like an actual drum versus what sounds like more of an effect. So here, if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see something like this light blue color. These are more effects. So dragging. Right. Versus your drummy sounds like your snares, your kicks, your hi-hats. All right. And it also allows you to filter via sample folder. So if you only want to search through all the factory content that XO provides for you, you're just going to have that one selected, XO core content. However, I have uploaded all my sounds that I have from other libraries such as Complete. What else? I have other expansions available, other beat sample collections. And if I want to select those, I'm going to click that shared folder, which is where I have mine uploaded to. Yours might be in a different folder, and it's going to show me all those. So let's say I don't want the XO factory content now. These are all my sounds that I have from my other libraries. And it's going to show you what percentage of those are actually available to you right now in this map window. So right now I have 41% of samples available to me. I'm not going to read that number. That's a big number. Whereas if I click both these, I'm going to have, oh, sorry, let's maximize that. I'm going to have 100% of the samples available to me. If we click this option here, this is going to show you our presets. So these presets are what XO has installed already. So if you click these, oh, we got to upload a kit, my bad. So let's click 4 on the floor. When you click 4 on the floor, it's going to show you the tempo that 4 on the floor is. It's going to show you the date it was added, and also it's going to automatically populate your kit with different sounds that are in the 4 on the floor preset. So now let's say you don't want that. Let's say you want a different preset. You're just going to double click any one of these. So this one has a tempo of 180. Let's say I want something a little slower. I want auto high, so 85. So double click that. And this is what auto high sounds like. I like it, I like it, I like it. Now, let's say that you like the beat and the pattern, everything there, but let's say you don't like the sounds that are in it. So here you can choose to keep the same pattern and alternate between different samples that are loaded up into your kit here. So I'm going to play it and I'm going to filter through each of these different similar samples, and you're going to hear the differences in what it sounds like. You can actually do the same thing using the circle over here. You can filter through different samples for your kit while keeping the beat the same. Okay, and that's that. I love this, by the way. I love the ability that it gives you to keep the same beat but choose from different samples so you can really perfect the sound that you're looking for. Also, I want to point out, notice that these are different tempos here. So let's say I wanted to choose one of these, but change the tempo. So let's say I want R&B. I'm going to click R&B, play that. The tempo is 96. I can click this, drag up and down to change the tempo at any time. It also gives me the really awesome ability to sync the tempo in XO with the tempo in my DAW. So if I click this, it's going to automatically sync it to whatever I have in my DAW. Now notice if I change the tempo in my DAW right here, it's going to change in XO as well. So here, drag down, and it's automatically going to sync to the project tempo in XO. If I like the changes that I made and I want to keep them, I'm going to click this check mark over here. Notice that the helper on the bottom tells me exactly what the function of this does. Okay, accept all changes made since opening the preset browser, or cancel, go back to state you had before the preset browser. So I like what I made, so I'm going to click the check mark and I'm going to keep it. Now when I play it, it's going to stay that way. Now that we've covered the main map area, we're going to dive into the edit window. So here in the edit window, you're going to have your sequencer, you're going to have your sends, your tones, your pitch, envelopes, whatever. We're going to start by actually covering over the sequencer here. So this essentially controls the pattern of the beat here in XO. You can choose where each sample hits, whether that's every half step, whole step, eighth note, etc., just by clicking any one of these hexagons. The fullness of the hexagon indicates the velocity that each step hits at. You can change the velocity simply by clicking any one of these hexagons and dragging up or down. So here I have a lower velocity, and here I have a higher velocity of 127. The velocity is going to be indicated right here. So right now the velocity is 106. Right below these hexagons, you have these dots. This is actually a note repeat function. So let's say I want the note to repeat a bunch of times. I'm going to just click there and drag up or down depending on how many times I want that one specific note to repeat. Just so you can hear what it sounds like, I'm going to click play. I hope you heard that. So as I increase the dots, the note repeated on that one spot 3 times here for the hi-hat and twice for the kick. You also have a groove section on your right-hand side. So this allows you to add a bit of swing to your beat for a more human feel. The accentuator function down here allows you to kind of modify the groove and the rhythm of your beat. So if I have accentuator turned on, you're going to hear what it sounds like. So play this. You can also choose which samples are affected by the accentuator, so you can turn them on and off here by clicking any one of these little squigglies, or you can turn the accentuator on and off altogether by clicking that. You also have the ability to randomize the accentuator, so these dice randomizes the settings for the accentuator. So playing here. Okay, just so you can hear what that sounds like. The next thing I want to cover over is the patterns. So here you have different patterns. This determines the sequence that your beat kind of follows as it's playing. So you have your A section of the sequence, you have your B section right here, and you can choose how it's changed. So you can go A, B, or your beat can play A, B. So the A section will play 3 times before the B section. So I can modify my A section and my B section, and let's say I want my B section to sound a bit more different. I can add more hi-hats, I can add more flexes. Let's hear what it sounds like. That actually doesn't sound too bad, and I just guessed where I was placing those notes. And now you have your A section, and I can choose if I want A first and then B. So play this. Or if I want A to hit 3 times and then B. We're not actually going to go through this because I don't want to waste time in this video. You can do that on your own. On the left side here, you have different parameters that dictate how your beat sounds. So let's say I want to increase the pitch of my kick, let's say. So I'm going to solo this kick, and you're going to hear what it sounds like. You can increase the pitch on semitones. You can change the panning. Hits more to the right or the left. And you have an envelope here. So you have your transient, you have your hold, and you have your delay. So let's say I want a higher attack transient for my kick. Okay, I'm going to bring my delay up just a little bit, or sorry, down. Okay, and now here, so I'm just going to pause it so you can hear me instead of the beat. Here you have a little wrench. If you click that wrench, you can actually modify the start and end points of that specific sample. So here, let's say I want more of a gritty little kick. I can do that as well. What I did not sound good, so I'm going to actually leave it where I found it. close that, and we're going to dive into the beat modifier. So going to the beat combiner, not beat modifier. Going to the beat combiner here, you can actually mix and match different patterns for each of these samples here. So let's say right now this is the original, we're going to play that, and we're going to flip through all these other different patterns that are available to us. Notice how it changes here. And if I want to choose all the same pattern, just going to click any one of these little hand finger icons. And I can mix and match at any time. All right. And you also have the ability to randomize it, so I can randomize any one of these patterns for each of these samples here. So you can really tweak how you want your beat to sound. I'm gonna go back to the main space window after we save our changes. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna keep my flex actually, so I'm gonna unmute that. And here we are. The last thing we're going to cover here in this video is the exporter function within XO. This is another thing that I absolutely love about XO, aside from all the other amazing features that it has. So XO gives you the ability to export your sample, all these samples actually, as well as your kit, outside of XO to be used within your DAW. So you're going to start by clicking render waves here. It's going to render all these waves with the different modifications that we made to them. And you have your raw kit as well as your process kit. So I have the ability to actually export this process kit here within my DAW, and I'm using Logic, so I can use it within the Drum Machine Designer, and it's going to add those into my Drum Machine Designer here. So I have those sounds available to me just like that. Now I'm just gonna close that. I'm gonna name this kit XO Kit. And let's say you really like the pattern that you made within XO as well. You can actually export that entire beat as a MIDI or a wave, depending on what you want. So I want a MIDI. I'm going to bring it within my DAW and click separate by note pitch. And just like that, you have everything available to you. You have your kick, you have your snare, you have your claps, hi-hats, whatever, and it's gonna sound just like this. I'm gonna mute XO and just let you hear this one play. One thing you gotta be cognizant of when you upload it, it's always gonna upload into the this key right here. Okay, all of them. So that's the C3 note right there. So you got, I don't know why the kick didn't do it. The kick uploaded into the B note, but everything else is going to be in your C3 note position. So it's up to you to kind of go through your MIDI and tweak it into whatever other position you want. Going back into XO though, while it's muted, I'm going to open that back up. And let's see what happens when you export it as a wave. So I'm going to export it as a wave file within my XO kit. Just give it a second here. Sorry, I have a lot of things loaded up on my computer right now, so it's just taking a little bit. All right, there we go. So I'm going to back out of XO. I have my entire XO beat, and let's hear what this sounds like. Versus this. You can hear the difference. It's because when you export it as a MIDI, it defaults that C3 position, and you kind of lose all the other note pitches that you made as well. So it's your choice whether you want to do it as a MIDI or do it as a wave. If you do it as a MIDI, you're going to have to alter the positions of the MIDI notes within your drum kit, whereas the wave file comes pre-rendered and the notes are already in those specific positions that you want them in. Alright everybody, that is it. That's all I have for you today about the XO plugin. I love it. I hope you love it. If you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.